Growing up, I feel like we all at one point had watched the cinematic masterpiece that is The Lion King. And recently I rewatched the movie and I gotta say it ages like a fine wine. I think that's the saying, I don't actually drink, but you get the point. Lion King isn't just a childhood gem, but a movie that high-key teaches us a very few important life lessons that really hit harder as you age. Let's start at the beginning. When we are first introduced to Simba at his presentation, he is shown to the animals of Pride Land like a first place trophy, being anointed as the future king, where Rafiki leaves a special mark symbolizing the cub's status, which ties us into our first topic, responsibility. Simba is shown to be this braggadocious cub who isn't really a stickler for the rules set by his father, and sees it as something that he's gonna change once he's officially king. He gets to do whatever he wants. Simba wants to be king, but not for the responsibility that comes with it, but the freedom. Simba's lack of acceptance of the responsibilities and his fresh-faced enthusiasm can be tied indirectly to the death of his father, because his vigor often got in front of his brain. Basically, Simba lacks some damn common sense.
He ain't lying.
We first get a taste of this when Simba's simple self ended up face to face with them ugly ass hyenas because he left the light. They had Zazu's ass on the grill. They were starting their 4th of July off right. All they needed was some fireworks and some glizzies. Happy 4th of July to you guys as well. They hawked Simba and Nala down, and Simba fought back. He's a scrappy little boy, I give it to him. But then they ended up being cornered, and here comes the king. Mufasa sweeps in for the save. Now I bring this up because Mufasa reiterates to Simba that the story of the circle of life, explaining to him that one day the sun will set on his time and will once rise again with Simba as the new king, and everything that the light touches will be his. And Simba asks about the dark area around the bend, and Mufasa tells him that he doesn't extend to the Pride Lands. Simba doesn't truly get it yet, and he says, doesn't a king get to do whatever he wants? Mufasa tries to instill to him very early and sternly that being king isn't always about getting what you want. This scene is very important because he explains just how interconnected life truly is. Mufasa speaks on the balance of nature and how there should be respect for every living thing. Because at the end of the day, we are all connected. We all play a part of something bigger, and all of our actions do affect one another. Along with teaching Simba this valuable lesson about life, he is teaching Simba about the real true leadership. Being a leader means you have to put others first, and you can't just be self-serving. There's a duty that comes with leadership, and just because you're in charge doesn't mean you should force your will. Now let's tie in everything that we just talked about. Scar manipulates Simba and causes him to be the indirect cause of his father's death. Scar uses Simba's curiosity and the idolation of Mufasa's bravery into luring him into the elephant graveyard. Before we continue, can we talk just about how dusty Scar's bum ass was? He was genuinely a scrub. His belief that the throne was usurped will always be perplexing to me, but that's another topic for another day. Baiting Simba into the gorge and creating a stampede was the perfect distraction for Scar to do Mufasa in the worst way. This has to be what Harry felt like when he realized the same Spider-Man he hated for killing his dad was his best friend. That's a different kind of pain right there. And why didn't the butler ever tell Harry that Spider-Man didn't kill his father sooner? I feel like a lot could have been avoided. I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic again. I cried like a baby at this scene, by the way. And rewatching this, it still hits a grown man in his heart. Scar uses the confusion and he emotionally manipulates Simba into believing that he got his father killed, telling Simba to leave the pride and never come back. This man was fucking heartless. There was no shame in his game. And you gonna tell me no one noticed that this man Scott has been plotting and planning for ages? Mufasa was very wary of him, but still kind of allowed him to skate under the water. That's another topic for another day though. I'm sorry, I keep getting off the topic at hand. Exiled from fear, Simba runs away from his destiny of being the king, scared to face the consequences of his past, leaving his future at somewhat of a halt. But not all is lost. He meets Timon and Pumbaa, who teaches him a new way of living life. Hakuna Matata, which means no worries essentially. And as Simba's embracing his new nomadic lifestyle, the pride is essentially suffering, becoming a barren land under the scraggly thumb of Scar, which Simba learns during his rekindling with Nala. Which brings me to my next point. In life, there's gonna be hurt, but healing is not about hiding from the past and eating bugs. Oh well, whatever you do for your comfort. Maybe you eat a tub of ice cream and you binge watch Stranger Things. You have to confront the past and accept the mistakes that you may or may not have made. And that's what Simba does. He heads back to the pride, looking like Mufasa reincarnated, aiming to take back the throne that he should have never lost in the first place. With the help of his friends, old and new, Simba is able to become the king he's always meant to be, confronting Scar and taking back the pride. And just Like in life, with a great support system that could really help guide you, he was able to overcome his fears. And you can't let fear control you. It's easy to freeze up at the unknown and let guilt eat you alive. But at the end of the day, we're human. Well, they're animals, but the point still stands. Even when you're afraid, you can still muster up enough courage to get shit done. Long live Mufasa.